Right. It's gonna be a commentary of Undisputed, which is the new game that came out recently, and it's offline. I'm not, fully comfortable with the controls yet, but I'm getting there and playing just offline and doing the career mode and stuff and trying to get comfortable with the controls, and then I might play online. But yeah, this is undisputed, so that's I think it's the hardest difficulty. I don't always win on the hardest difficulty. I'm kind of getting used to each difficulty, but yeah, this is kind of a good fight against Lomachenko, and I know pretty well. I mean, Lomachenko doesn't have he has a lot of amateur fights, but he doesn't have that many professional fights. So you can actually, I think, pretty much watch them all, and I mean, you can do that with a lot of people, but yeah. So I'm playing as this guy. He's a Chinese guy called Kan, and trying to get the win here. But yeah, I've been kind of a bit under the weather, but yeah. Uh, so I mean, basically, I think it's probably good to figure out how to do this, talking to a microphone. I kind of did it a few times and then I kind of got out of practice. But I want to get back into practice and I got good, you know, got him down. Sometimes you get him on the counter in this game and you get a guy down in one shot, which is cool. But yeah, I don't know. This isn't going great. Um, so it's probably just say the impressions of the game is pretty good. It's not exactly the quality one would expect, and I just spend enough money that you should expect more quality out of it. But at the same time, that's the way you know games are. Is it's an indie game kind of. It's not big budget game like the UFC game, which I'm done with. The UFC game was I just kind of wanted to just be in a position where I felt I was fairly comfortable with it, and went out hopefully pretty well, playing well, and then I just thought, all right, yeah, that's enough of that, and I'll kind of give up on it. Maybe switch to something else. I ended up playing the Saints Row game, which was from 2022. It was recent enough, and it was pretty panned partially because of culture war reasons, but people didn't like the new direction of the story. I mean, it was also very very raw gameplay. You just kind of, I suppose, a lot of uh, open world third person shooters kind of have the same formula, and it's been there since the original Saints Row, and it's been basically with this one pretty basic type of game, but it's just comforting almost to play a game like that. That's very nostalgic maybe to you that you played when you were younger. But yeah, I'm trying to kind of get him out because it's 12 rounds, and I feel like if I don't get him out quick, uh, the issue is often I fuck up with my stamina, which I did in the UFC too. I just throw way too many shit like punches. But trying to kind of jab, and he kind of it's pretty tricky. He moves away a lot, which is kind of realistic. They kind of try to program it, I think, to be somewhat accurate. And I will say that the likenesses, I think, are for some reason almost better than, not almost, they have benefits over the UFC likenesses, despite the fact that with the Frostbite engine or whatever, the UFC, very very good graphical fidelity, and for some reason, maybe not Uncanny Valley, the fighters don't look that good. I mean, famously at the initial thing that was the Max Holloway, which is kind of I don't know, probably an early leak, but for some reason the fighters just look like themselves the way they did in the game that everyone's going to be talking about, which is Fight Night. I got another knockdown. which is pretty good. But yeah, I mean, it's odd learning the controls because it's very similar to the Fight Night Champion. I played that a lot. I still play that a lot, and there's a lot of similarities. But there are certain things that you really will struggle with, like the distance. You know, you end up and you'll see this too, throwing a bunch of shots that don't go anywhere near landing because you're not able to get close to them, especially when they get a health event. But one thing that they have is a real diversity of locations. Like there's a bunch of places you can do like outdoor, almost a coliseum type of place. You know, there's gyms, but like normal gyms. There's kind of obviously proper venues. And there's about 10 different venues in the UFC. I think they've added two now to the Apex and the motherfucking uh, what's it called? A Sphere, which is basically the only one that to me stands out at all is the Sphere, and the Apex obviously, which looks completely different. And again, the rest of them are very very graphically impressive. It's just a mini MMA thing, but it's just there's a real lack of personality and a lack of I don't know, visual coherence maybe, like sort of blends together, which is what coherence means. So I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. It just doesn't maybe fit. I mean, in other ways, the graphics are incredible. Like you kind of look at it sometimes and you just don't appreciate changes like that in a way that you just take it for granted that that's what graphics look like now. But yeah, I'm trying to kind of figure out how to do these and then do a few of them. I always think about kind of nostalgically the old videos I used to watch, like a lot of whatever Woody's Gamer Tag or Hutch or Cnars or something. But yeah, it's just a knack. You just practice and you get used to doing it again. But yeah, I'd definitely be more energetic in the future. And the weird thing is, I'm just really fucking stupid with technology. So like, it's all real small, like a small little box. And I use iMovie. I don't know why I use iMovie, but like the box is so small, I can't make the box bigger to see what the fuck is happening to like actually commentate on it. But I made the box a bit bigger, and I can see what's happening more. But yeah, I mean, it's just about figuring out what to talk about, and also just sort of talking about the game is a bit like kind of hard to put into words because I think the word janky that people use is maybe accurate. That there's just an issue with awkwardness. The game's a bit awkward. The angles are a bit awkward. I had a glitch. I upload that, and that's a good fight. Where a round just lasted 20 minutes, just wouldn't stop. It was against Gaddy, which is realistic that he'd just be able to, or to Gaddy be able to survive, pretty bad barrage from Canelo. But there's a real, I suppose, in this game depth to it. Like if you play the career mode, it's way way deeper than the UFC career mode or the fight night. Well, the big flaw with the fight night career mode was it was pretty limited to how long you could do it. They kind of, if you're playing on the hardest difficulty, you're going to be taking a lot of shots to win. You have to, unless I guess if you're fucking unreal at the game, then you don't. But if you get hit enough, you just have to retire. And another thing, which is just sort of this game doesn't have, is like you end up spending a long time doing your mini games to get any kind of benefit to your character. But yeah, this is sort of what you need to get used to if you're trying to do fight against Lomachenko. Is if you get any type of moment he's on the ropes, this is in the game obviously, whatever, but anything else, you just fucking really empty in the tank because just overhand, overhand, overhand. But there is a depth to it, and even to the gameplay, that if you're willing to accept the awkwardness, or I mean, the word is overused, jankiness, but it is actually not quite as good as Fight Night Champion, but it is incredible in terms of like that fantasy of playing as all these great fighters that you never would have played as, before. Like there's obviously no Terence Crawford and Fight Night Champion. There's no Canelo Alvarez. A lot of people, I mean, they would got like Kawasaki and Ali and a lot of big fighters were there, but there's a lot of Lomachenko. You get to play as Lomachenko, which is really kind of a buzz to play as these iconic new fighters that are not new but come out recently after the game came out. And I think the one thing is obviously there's no Mayweather, there's no Pacquiao, there's no Tyson, so there are definitely gaps that they'll probably charge to get them guys if they get them rights wise. But there's definitely a lot of upside in the game, especially the roster would be the biggest upside. But I suppose it's an issue that just is all through the game, that it's just that bit awkward. Like there's glitches, and the gameplay is just not responsive, maybe in the way that you'd expect from a fighting game. It's a little bit loose feeling, whereas the UFC game, which had really precise, really tight controls, had flaws in other ways. But it was very, very responsive, and this isn't that level of responsiveness. So it's kind of not getting the greatest critical acclaim. It's getting like 71, which on Metacritic, which who gives a fuck about Metacritic? I don't know why I talk about Metacritic, but it's kind of getting 6 out of 10s and 5 out of 10s and 7 out of 10s. But hopefully, what happens is the community builds around it, and what we said, it's already existed on computers for a long time. But and hopefully they, I guess, update it over time. Which a great example of that would be No Man's Sky, which started off with a lot of potential. And I don't think this is anywhere near as broken as No Man's Sky was when it like first came out. But it's great to have a boxing game, and I'm gonna hopefully start playing online and see what that's like once I kind of figure it out. Again, just where I want to be with the controls. But yeah, I need to actually be commentating. So I mean, at this stage, I felt like I basically was in control, which I was happy with. But the problem is, you can really in this game just lose it, which is to say, like you just kind of lose your stamina, which happens if you're not paying attention. And when it kind of goes red, that means you stop recovering, I think. And again, I don't know what the fuck anything means, but you're in big trouble. You just move slowly, and you can see like he's up at 99 stamina. That really doesn't seem to, unless you do, a lot of active work, making him lose his stamina. He doesn't lose his stamina on this difficulty, so you kind of gotta accept that, and that's the issue. Even if you're in control, is you gotta really focus on preserving that stamina and getting enough knockdowns. Because I've had 7 knockdowns and the guy's not out, which can be very exciting and can contribute, because you just keep getting them down and they keep standing up, and they almost have the advantage when they just stand up. Because I think the big flaw with this game is something that's hard to put into words, but the big benefit is very simple, which to put into words, which is look at it. You get to play as these famous fighters, as these exciting fighters. You get to have a boxing game. Like it's an obvious upside, and then in terms of downside, I suppose it's something that could be over time tightened up with the like I think the responsiveness would be good, but because I mean the UFC game and all the Madden games have a very different vibe to them, you know, like there's at this stage incredibly beautiful visually, very glossy, and in some ways tighter gameplay, but also I think this game is a lot more I don't know, innovative in stuff like the career mode. The career mode's kind of stupid in the UFC game, and also I mean it just seems to have a personality maybe that doesn't have. But yeah, I mean, I've always wanted to be able to commentary games, but then I never know what the fuck to say. and I'm a bit but I like the tall fighters. I guess is the only thing I would notice is I like Ali, which I mean he feels way taller than he actually is, just because I guess the speed and the way the punch animations are. But someone like Tyson Fury, even Deontay Wilder, he's not like that. Well, man, I was pissing on him. Like I was really mad at him. People get really mad at fighters, which is just fucking stupid to me. Like they get real angry, like if their careers don't going really badly. I mean, I think his personality graded people. Obviously, the famous video where he's like, to this day. But I suppose people really look at it as he hasn't developed on his promise, which is possibly true. But the truth is, I guess he came to the sport so late and has achieved a great deal, and it's quite old. I mean, that sounds kind of negative to say, but guys like Joshua, guys like him, unfortunately, with the heavyweight division, I mean, it's a personal thing. I don't think that the expectation of these long careers. I mean, if you're taking shots like from even Fury, who's not a big hitter considered by people consider him, but he's a big man. The amount he's hit him, I just feel like these guys' careers should be looked at differently. I think that's what makes Ali to go. Very simply, I think the standard is different for heavyweights. It has to be different from heavyweights. It's, people talk about it as just a big deal. Like even watching, people who are coming up now, like what's the fucking guy's name? He's just like a Croatian guy, and he was fighting Dubois. Very exciting fight. I can't remember what the name of the guy was. One sec. I can look anything up. There's no reason to not know anything. Or was he? One sec. Hrgovic. Like, what his potential for the rest of his career has changed from that one fight with Dubois. And obviously, Dubois has come extraordinarily well out of that fight. But one fight like that just changes you physically. I suppose with even Joshua, I mean, people were really expecting with Ben Davidson that there was going to be a new Joshua, and I think it's very difficult for somebody to, on the one hand, achieve a lot, and then people are still giving him so much shit because he didn't achieve everything, or I don't know what that means. Well, people are very negative towards people, and a lot of negativity in fighting. But I mean, at the same time, there's a lot of positivity too. Like, I mean, there was a huge positive thing that Beterbiev and Bivol fought, that such a great fight could be made, and then a sequel. And I suppose that was a very, very positive in terms of like the best fighting the best. It was something, I think, that there was a time when boxing was considered to be dying because the best wouldn't fight the best. And I suppose, as complicated as it is, I suppose that the Saudi investment and the Turk guy has really, again, whatever complicated things you want to say about it, has really brought such a level of excitement and a level of theatre to it. It's a theatrical and it's exciting, but it's also the best fighting the best in that way. And the fact the Usyk fight got done, the fact that, and again, they're probably going to see sequels to both of them. And my position would be that it was not robbery in that in any way, but that I thought Bivol won. But that, I don't really know anything about that. But yeah, I think it's really exciting time in boxing, and yeah, I mean, it's even watching now. Yeah, about to get, I think, that victory, and yeah, look, I mean, again, this is just new for me. I'm trying to figure out how to talk like this. But I figured it out. I always figure shit out pretty quickly. Well, not that quickly, but whatever. And yeah, I'll do another one of that Gatti versus Canelo fight. And that's again part of the game, making up matchups like that, just fun.